On today's show, it was an interesting football Halloween weekend. We have a new movie trailer, a new top 5. Let's get into it right away.
What's it like in the journalism program? That's why last week he's like, fuck this guy, fuck that guy, fuck this guy. You're cool, but fuck this guy.
Someone, whoever does their Twitter account, was offended by what the HG podcast had to say on Twitter. All controversial now. Nowhere. You know why? Because they just started this shit last week and they put in a movie. Now,
so I'm not have to worry about catching anything from Jake or vice versa. So he's good.
Catch some manners, Darren.
All your asshole attitude is rubbing off on me. Finally, it only took about 3 years. So hey, I wonder how long that recording session was. Okay, Ben, you ready? Yeah. All right, thank you.
We're done.
It'd be nice. I'm gonna give it a solid 2.5 out of 5.
Oh wow!
Welcome everyone to the ADG podcast. I'm Darren. He's Jacob. We're back for another great episode of the podcast. Jake, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm good. Little candy sugar rush, but not complaining.
Good. Yes, that's right. Did you and the kiddies enjoy your first COVID-friendly Halloween?
Oh, it was interesting. But did you go out trick or treating? Is the question.
Me and the girlfriend took her niece out trick or treating in beautiful LaSalle, and I'm surprised to say there were a ton of kids out, which is good to see.
Darren, in translation, you found yourself someone who can get you candy. Okay, good job.
Exactly. Hey, it's all about which candies do I like and which candies do I tell her to give to me. That's how it works there.
These are bad for your teeth, but I like them.
But I like them, exactly. And shout out to the parents for doing the COVID friendly way of handing out Halloween candy this year. I saw a lot of them just put a table out and just put the candy on the table with signs that take one or whatever. And so I didn't see too many, hand to bag candy transfers, but I did see one lady had like a tube set up on the railing of her porch. Just dropped the candy in, and the kid was at the bottom of the porch with the bag open, just drops it right in. So pretty clever ways. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Basically the same thing if she's handing you the candy into the tube and the candy drops in the bag. So it's like handing the candy into the bag.
Exactly.
But it's whatever. That's not bad. You know what I noticed though is that there was a large majority of people that did not give out candy.
Yes,
it was like 50% less than usual.
Yeah,
made me sad because I want my candy.
Exactly, a lot of houses with their porch lights off. Very, I noticed, but like I was seeing, like you still have a lot of the original, types of candy that people hand out, and by candy I mean the chips. Yes. And they still hand out juice, like boxes and cans of pop, which I always thought that was kind of weird. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know people still did that.
I know. I saw one. I'm like, oh, it's like a little barrel of juice, like a little plastic barrel of juice. Like I remember those when I was a kid. I didn't know that they still made it. Yeah.
That's funny.
But fun times. So yeah, I'm sure all the kids are still on their sugar high for the next couple days, and I don't envy those kids when they come crashing down after it all wears off.
It's that first day of school back when they're just full of candy and it's all they have in their lunch.
Exactly. Well, those are always the best lunches. Just packed full of candy, your favorite, your Snickers, Reese's Pieces, all that. Mm-hmm. All that good stuff. Yes. So I'm sure you as a responsible parent, checked your kids' candy before they went crazy on it, right?
Well, it's a good question because they still haven't touched it yet. I'm letting it sit for a couple days in the bags before we can actually go through it. So. Okay. Oh no, I don't care.
Is this a tradition, or is this the way that you?
No, it's just now. The whole COVID thing. I'm gonna let it sit there for a couple of days. Get acclimated, and
get acclimated.
I think it's like
You got to leave it there like for a few days, and then I'll trust it, spray it down, sort it, eat it, whatever.
So
but
are
I
there?
still leave it.
Yeah, are there candies that your kids hate but you just love?
I don't think kids hate candy, but there's some things they
types of
like
candy,
less than other things. Trust me, if they have
Right.
nothing else, they will eat anything that's sweet.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't really know because I eat everything from them. So they get whatever. They pick out a couple of things they like, and then I take the rest. But before we get to sports, everyone can find us everywhere online on all podcasts, streaming stations, ADG podcasts. Find us. See, Darren's eating candy right there. Email us, adgpodcast@gmail.com, and hit us up on all social media, except TikTok, because we don't do that. ADG Podcast. So there you go. Find us everywhere.
I would love to see Jake do a TikTok. That'd be
I was
fun.
thinking about it. I was thinking about doing a TikTok, but what the fuck am I going to do a video so that nobody wants to see this?
You should do
Nobody
one of
wants
those
to see
trendy do one of those trendy dances that people love to do.
Absolutely. You want to see a record of unlikes? I'm going to surpass that Friday night song in unlikes if I start doing TikTok.
Friday night.
Yeah, by what's her name? The little girl that made a crappy Friday song.
Oh,
that Friday song. Yeah.
What's her name?
It's
Rebecca
Friday.
Black.
Oh my God! Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
You would know.
Yep. Of course, I would know that.
Oh, that is terrible. But anyway, it was an interesting football sports weekend in many levels. Made me mad on many levels. So let's start with that, Darren. Yeah. How did you enjoy? How did you enjoy that caramel in your mouth?
You know what? Actually, it wasn't a caramel. It was a Starburst, and it was almost as sweet, but not sweeter than the Michigan State Spartans walking into Ann Arbor, the big house, the empty big house, I should say, and putting a hurting on the previously undefeated Michigan Wolverines.
Okay, but before you get into your thing, Darren, I want your opinion. I want your real opinion on this. Darren, did you think it was going to be this close and this was going to be the outcome? Because me and you talked about it last week. Did you think it was going to be like this?
Hell no. I thought Michigan was going to blow them out by at least 15 to 20 points.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan State going into there a 24 point underdog, was already bad enough. They got shellacked by Rutgers last week. They turned the ball over 6-7 times last week. Obviously, I was hoping that they wouldn't turn the ball over as much, but I figured that they would turn the ball over, because Michigan looked good against Minnesota last week. But that tells me that that Minnesota is not a good team, and that Michigan can beat a crappy team. So I figured Michigan could beat 2 crappy teams in back-to-back weeks. But I was wrong, because this is the Paul Bunyan game. This is what they play for. The rivalry is still there, and Michigan State just wanted it more, and they showed that. And how they played the game, and how Rocky Lombardi, and I'm going to be saying this name a lot, just took you to school. That took Michigan to school. Took Jim Harbaugh to school. Rocky Lombardi, who isn't a good quarterback, who can barely throw a deep pass and just floats the ball in there, made you look foolish. And a freshman wide receiver, nearly almost 200 yards receiving, a freshman, made that secondary of Michigan look like child's play out there. So you, Jake, as a Michigan fan, how, on the list of Jim Harbaugh's embarrassments as Michigan's head coach, where does this rank?
Oh, it's, you know what? It was so predictable if you really think about it, because this guy doesn't win big games, and you got to count as State, even when they're crappy, as a big game. It's just how it is. the Michigan State game rivals the Ohio State game in importance because you can barely beat these guys on a year-to-year basis. So it has to be one of the biggest embarrassments, besides not winning any other big games, that he's had so far, being in Michigan for so long. By now, he should be dominating, but he's losing to crappy teams that are rebuilding. So it's embarrassing. He probably, if this season he loses 3 games, which he will, he should be gone.
Especially when it comes to, Michigan State has a new head coach in Mel Tucker, and Mel Tucker getting his first win as a Spartan head coach against their number one rival. That's got to bode well for them, and just demoralizing to Michigan on how long do you give Jim Harbaugh a chance to get this turned around. I know it's a shortened season because of the COVID restrictions, so the leash is even shorter this year. Does Jim Harbaugh make it out of this season with this job? Yes or no?
He does. He makes it out of the season because it's Michigan, and it's just what they do. But next season, it'll be probably insane hot seat. So that's what's going to be. He's going to have his own major recruits, his own talent. How many years in we're going to be? Like big part of the decade. So it's all going to be on him. And next year, if he doesn't do anything, he's gone. This year they'll have the excuse shortened season, blah blah.
Yeah,
blah,
blah. but Jake, you can't just blame the shortened season on this guy's lack of inability.
Oh no, like I said, he's been here for a bigger part of the decade. He should be on the
6 years, and he still hasn't done nothing. No. He hasn't won anything against his 2 biggest rivalries. Yeah, he's beaten Michigan State a couple times, obviously, but he hasn't yet to beat Ohio State. And isn't that pretty much the whole job? Be competitive, get us to bowl games, and beat Ohio State.
Yeah, and that's not happening this year either. So
no. So this I don't understand. For a guy that's supposed to be a quarterback whisperer, and guru and all that stuff, how many quarterbacks have fell flat on their face in his system?
All of them. He hasn't had a leading quarterback ever.
Yeah, I'm talking about like a homegrown quarterback.
Yeah, no, he hasn't had one. So he hasn't made one. He hasn't done anything to make a quarterback a centerpiece of his team at all. So that's a little strange, but that's just how it is.
That's how it is. Is that the Michigan logo for fans? It is what it is.
Should be. Yeah.
Well,
terrible.
Well, from Jake's sad putrid team to our sad putrid team, the Lions. They came in to Ford Field yesterday, riding a 2-game winning streak. Yes, you heard that correctly. A 2-game winning streak, taking on the fully rested Indianapolis Colts, coming in after their bye week, rested and healed up. And Jake, it was exactly what I thought it would be.
A massacre.
A massacre. A huge letdown game when people would start to, and by people I mean national people that watch the league, would be tuning in to see. It's like, okay, let me see the Lions against a real team, an actual competitive team, and not the Atlanta Falcons or Jacksonville Jaguars, and see how they do. And the Lions went full Lions. They did take the lead early, 7-0, but then after that they gave up 20 straight points. And then it from there it just got really bad. Matthew Stafford did not look good. There was 0 running game from the Lions. It was sad. It was pathetic. That first half was without a doubt the worst first half stats wise I've seen the Lions play in a long time. It was just the Colts dominated that. Let's say 90% of the game, just the yards, plays, time of possession dominated all of it, and they were doing backflips and circles all over that Detroit Lions awful defense.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
You would think with they have Coleman back in the lineup, they'd give them an extra boost there, but no, I guess it didn't really matter.
No, it was funny because after the game, all I heard was, "Oh, it was Stafford. He wasn't as bad as people think. 330 yards." I'm like, it's a typical Stat Padford game. He got enough yards, but it didn't do anything.
No,
it's just the whole team looked tired. Coaching was shit. I'm watching, and I only watched the last quarter and a half because I have better things to do on my Sunday. But I listen on the radio. And I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, let's see how this team actually looks on the field, because I've been listening, but I haven't seen them, and they look awful, mismatched. They just don't have the talent. They don't have enough talent to to play against the Colts. The Colts aren't great. Their quarterback is 100, way past his prime. He can't throw. He can't throw. Like, you have a defense that's shit, and the quarterback can't throw. You might want to play the ball in front of you the entire time. No.
Mm-hmm.
And then our incredible scientist of coach. Oh, gee, we're only 2 scores down. That's perfect. I'm gonna burn my timeouts with 7 minutes left in the fucking game. Okay, that makes sense. And they're at your goal line. They're going to score. And this stupid asshole decides I'm just going to use 2 timeouts. And they're going to score. And there's nothing relating to helping you with the time. We could have saved those timeouts and at least made it somewhat respectable at the end. But no, he's an idiot. Right. So now, don't let the record fool you. They're at 3-4.
Yeah.
They should be at 1-6. They should be. But no, this team is going to keep shooting themselves in the foot. They're going to draft 20th in the draft and still be trash.
Sure. You just look at the way I one of the things that I noticed is that I looked how the Colts built that defense to where it is number 1 in the league, and how they use their draft picks wisely. Some of their top linebackers were a 2nd, 3rd round pick, and they hit on these ones. And that's how you're supposed to use the draft. You have a crack team of scouts. You evaluate all your players, but it's all about the guy in charge making the right decisions on these players. Obviously, you went with Jeff Okudah.
How's that working out in your draft?
Well, let's give the rookie the benefit of a doubt for this first year. You got to give him a chance to prove himself. So, yeah, he's had some bright spots, but he had some low spots so far in his rookie campaign. But he's a work in progress. He's still learning the system.
Yeah, he's still the worst. Worst defensive in the league.
All right, he's a rookie. Let's cut him some slack
you
here.
put him out there as the 3rd pick in the draft. He should not be the worst player in the league in this position.
Wow.
Let's be honest here. Come on.
All right. Well,
how's Tua doing? Oh, that's right.
Oh, yes. Well. Okay. We'll get into some of the other NFL headlines from this past week, but Jake. I'm sorry?
Making a comparison,
okay.
The pick after yours again is
so,
incredible.
But yes, so now, exactly. You're 3-4. You still have a lot of things to do to clean up. But this is just like the Lions. It's the old let's suck them in for a little bit. Let's play good. Let's get 1 or 2 wins in a row, and then come home where people are going to start taking a little bit more of a notice, and then you shit the bed like that. We're all, well, at least me, like, we're all guilty of it. Like, oh, maybe this is the week that they finally put it all together against a good team. Wrong. So,
Aaron, it's not a puzzle. It's the
No,
Detroit
no,
Lions.
I know.
This puzzle will never come together.
I know. They duped me, like to the point like I did pick them to win yesterday, and they made me look foolish.
I hope you lost money on that and learned your lesson.
No, I didn't. No, I'm not that dumb where I bet money on the Lions. I'm not that sold on them. But now they go on the road against Minnesota. Minnesota, which surprised Green Bay last night. Who the hell saw that one coming? Yep. Dalvin Cook is pretty much their whole team. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And the Lions have a good run defense.
But with the Lions, they will have Everson Griffin back in the lineup for next week. So wouldn't that be a great homecoming? Him going back to Minnesota and just chewing up Kirk Cousins over there. And all
they're
that.
Gonna lose by 20.
No, come on.
Okay.
No. I think it'll be a lot closer than last night's game. But let's go into the rest of the NFL. And I got like 10 takeaways from week 8 of the NFL. And Jake, let me see if you agree with these. The Steelers, wow, they stay unbeaten. And I thought
they through it.
I thought for sure that they were going to lose that game against Baltimore, because Baltimore had rallied, and they had actually a chance to win it at the end, and the pass was knocked away. But big shout out to the Steelers. That defense just looks so good, and they just made a trade with the Jets to get one of their top defensive players. So the rich keep getting richer for the Steelers defense over there. And what happened to Lamar Jackson? He pretty much just slowed right down. He is not the Lamar of 2019. So I don't know what's going on. Like, is he a one-season wonder? I don't know. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens, in years to come. Because I think defenses have figured Lamar Jackson out on his tendencies and when he is going to run and, in certain plays. So it's going to be interesting to see how he has to change his way of playing quarterback in the NFL now that the teams might know what's he about to do. And the Patriots, Jake, can we officially say the Patriots are done?
Yeah.
Let's just burn it down. Cam
Newton fits in there perfectly, but without him being on the team.
Which is it safe to say that it was Tom Brady that made the Patriots great?
I think it was a combination, because it was a little bit of both. You have a good player with good coaching, an elite player player with elite coaching. That put together obviously works, because most of the other positions were players that were serviceable. But you know what? It's time will tell on that. Time will tell.
Yeah, it's not looking good. Cam Newton, he looks lost in there, and he looks slow. I hate to say he looks very slow ways out there. And let's give a special shout out to Tua and the Miami Dolphins. Congrats on your first NFL win as a starting quarterback. And it wasn't so much Tua that won that game. It was the Dolphins D that just pretty much demolished what was left of the LA Rams. Oh my God. There
goes the hype.
2 years ago, when they had the greatest offense known to man, Sean McVay looked like a genius out there. He was going to be the next Bill Belichick and all this, this offensive guru. They are done. Jared Goff, he looks slow. He looks bad. So it's two a time in Miami.
But they give the credit what it's due. Miami, it was trash. But what did they do?
They weren't trash.
They burned it down.
They
rebuilt with young guys.
You had a quarterback that had that team at 3-3, and they benched him for a rookie.
I mean, last year.
Oh,
they were trash. But they rebuilt properly. Something the Lions should look at, because teams like Miami did it the right way. Pittsburgh always does it the right way.
Mhm.
Pittsburgh's almost never garbage. Even when they lose star players, they
Yeah,
rebuild and they're still good.
as long as their key pieces are still there. If Big Ben is there, yeah, that he makes that offensive go.
Right.
That offense go.
Right, and look at Miami. They were awful last couple years, but look at that. They got a whole bunch of young talent. They found more talent, and they're doing something with it.
Yeah,
That's how everybody should do it.
And like I wish the Lions would have got that defensive coach instead of the one that we have now. Their head coach obviously came from the Bill Belichick tree. He was the defensive coordinator after Matt Patricia left. So obviously we got that one wrong as well.
Surprise.
Heartbreak of the week has to go to the LA Chargers losing a heartbreaker last night on the final play of the game to the Denver Broncos. It's bad because I can never get a read on this LA Chargers team. And they, once again, you're talking about Tua, Justin Herbert, a great young quarterback.
Yes.
That's going to probably be a stud for many, many years, and shoulda, coulda, wouldas, with all these young, hot shot quarterbacks starting off. And like we mentioned earlier, is Dalvin Cook is good, or the Patriots' run defense is not good. Dalvin Cook looked really good, running for 3 touchdowns. And finally, can we talk about the worst division in football?
Oh yeah, I just saw those stats yesterday. That's fantastic.
Oh, if you're a Lions fan, think about it. If the Lions were in the Cowboys division, we would be leading that division.
Yes.
How sad is that?
That's
How
hilarious.
sad is that? Giants, crap. Eagles, crap. Cowboys, crap. Washington doesn't even exist.
I know.
Yeah,
an opportunity for a team with a losing record to make it to the playoffs.
Oh my God! A losing record is going to win that division. How pathetic is that?
Awesome.
So that's just a couple of the headlines from the past week in the NFL, and also November 3rd. I know that they got some election going on over there in the U.S., but
something's going on over there.
Something's going on over there, but it's also trade deadline day in the NFL. It was November 3rd.
Go.
So, Jake, a lot of questions going around. Do the Lions, I know they were buyers last week. Are they going to be sellers this week? And I'm talking about Marvin Jones. Or do you see a potential Kenny Golladay trade? Because as soon as he left the game yesterday with a hip injury, that defense went invisible. I'm sorry, the offense went invisible when it comes to the Detroit Lions.
This is the most Lion-esque thing that can happen because your most tradable player got hurt. So obviously his value is going to go down. So again, it's the most Lion-esque thing. Now they're probably going to overpay him and keep him, and this team's going to suck for the next 5 years. I would, you know me, I would sell the whole damn thing. Trade Stafford, trade Marvin Jones, trade Golladay. Go. Give me first round, second round, third round picks. I want to accumulate. I want like 6 extra picks in next year. I don't give a shit. So I can turn around and go get myself 3 of those picks for the number 1 pick in the draft, get myself a quarterback, all the rest of the picks, build myself a defense. Boom, I'm ready to go. But this team's stupid, so I don't give a shit. I'm willing to sacrifice the rest of this half of the season to, I don't know. I'm going to lose anyway. So trade them for picks. Stafford, give me 2 second rounders. Marvin Jones, I'll take a 7th rounder. I don't give a shit. Golladay, I'll take a 2nd and a 3rd. Done. I don't care. Take that money. I'm not gonna pay that money anyway. There, accumulated some picks. That's how I would do it. But what do I know? I'm not a rocket scientist that's losing, and that's a terrible coach here with my fucking moo. Just saying.
Just saying. I love it.
You want my opinion? What do you think, Darren?
Jake. They obviously, and there's rumors that Marvin Jones' name's been floated around by other clubs. Obviously, other clubs that are going to be, in the playoff race, they're going to have to load up either for depth at least, or if they have a lot of injury problems, So Marvin Jones, very complimentary running back. I'm sorry, running back, wide receiver. But not only him. Speaking of running backs, Kerryon Johnson. I know he got a touchdown yesterday, but like he never plays. It's really just Peterson and Swift that do the majority of running of the ball. So might as well try to get something for him. Draft pick, maybe 4th, 5th round pick, maybe.
Yeah. And you know, I'd pay Adrian Peterson.
Would you?
I'd keep him. You know, one, he will be a mentor to your starting running back that you picked up in the draft. Okay, the kid can learn from him for the next year or two. I would pay that guy. Plus, look at he runs really hard. He'd be my 3rd down back.
You would?
Yep. I'd keep Adrian Peterson.
Well, there you go. But like it's a whole thing. Like how long is this kind of like a one and done, like a little stop before he retires?
Doesn't look like he should be retiring.
No. Yeah,
well, that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Looks like he has a lot of gas left in the tank.
No, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. So Jake, do we want to get into music, or do we want to?
Yeah, let's do a quick music break here for everybody, and then we'll go from there. So today's music break is coming to us from Virginian Southern rock and roll artist Doc Straw and the Scarecrows. That's right. We're breaking it down. We're going to the U.S. for some music today. Doc Straw and the Scarecrows from Virginia with their new single, Get On By, released midsummer this year. These guys, well, Mike Straw, the lead singer, is a combat vet who's now a doctor of physical therapy. He's been writing songs and playing in bands since middle school. He's from Gainesville, Florida, Tom Petty's hometown.
All right.
Yeah, but he grew up in a little town called High Springs. He undergraduate was University of Florida, and he joined the Army as a combat engineer because he wanted to serve his country after 9/11. But this song, Get On By, is an inspiration directly from real life experience. He says, and I quote, he wrote this song after getting off a 3-hour-long phone conversation with his sister. And a lot of the conversation that evening centered around some of the tougher things in life and struggles. If a person lives long enough, then at some point they will experience these trying seasons. Yeah, he's learned that it's important to pay attention during those times because that is when we have some of the best opportunities to grow. So here is Doc Straw and the Scarecrows with Get On By here on the ADG podcast.
When the demons get the best of me, the worst of me comes round. And I say the things I never thought that I would say aloud. Sometimes memory lane gets lonely and then life will knock me down. Gotta get back on my feet and walk it out. Gotta get back on my feet and walk it out. My soul might hurt, my heart might break, my lungs may burn, my legs may shake. I know I've got to keep on keeping on. Can't lose my mind, can't lose my way. Got mouths to feed and bills to pay. There ain't no other choice but to be strong. Gotta get on by. I've learned this life's a puzzle. that I'm always working on. I try to be more grateful of what's here before it's gone. Well, I got to be more comfortable with a few of my pieces missing. Gotta get back on my feet and walk it out. Gotta get back on my feet and walk it out. My soul might hurt, my heart might break, my lungs may burn, my legs may shake. I know I've got to keep on keeping on. Can't lose my mind, can't lose my way. Got mouths to feed and bills to pay. There ain't no other choice but to be strong. Gotta get on by. Break, my lungs may burn, my legs may shake. I know I've got to keep on keeping on. Can't lose my mind, can't lose my way. Got mouths to feed and bills to pay. There ain't no other choice but to be strong. Gotta get on by. My soul might hurt, my heart might break, my lungs may burn, my legs may shake. I know I've got to keep on keeping on. Can't lose my mind, can't lose my way. Got mouths to feed and bills to pay. There ain't no other choice but to be strong. Gotta get on by.
There you go. That was Get On By Doc Straw and the Scarecrows right here on the ADG podcast, bringing you some amazing independent music. Check that out on YouTube and our Spotify playlist. And you gave me an amazing movie trailer today, which I didn't even know existed. And I became a fan of this movie trailer that we're going to review today.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting. It comes from the great filmmaker Michael Bay.
The explosions!
Lots
Bad
of
Boys 8.
explosions.
Your favorite movie?
Oh, Martin Lawrence, please come on the ADG podcast. Love to talk to you. Yeah.
Oh, he's still heavy breathing from the last movie he made.
Oh, he's still breathing. He chasing down that car on foot.
Hey, you like the movie, so don't even complain about that now. It's too late. I have you on recording. I hate it. I like it. Pick one.
It's different. That's what I can say.
It's different.
So the movie that we're going to review today, that on the trailer at least, is called Songbird, and it's basically immune to the COVID-23 virus. A courier races against time to save the woman he loves from a quarantine camp. That's pretty much the gist of it. That where it comes, but it's very relatable to where we are now. Obviously, there's no quarantine camps yet, but it's definitely interesting on how, something like, the COVID virus could spread more and more, where you have to pretty much be in lockdown 24/7, and they have complete scans of like full body. And if you have like this disease, you're pretty much subjugated to pretty much be alone and die by yourself. So I don't. It's supposed to come out next year, 2021. Looks good. There's a couple of well-known people in this movie. Demi Moore is in it. Paul Walter Hauser, who played Richard. I forget what the where he saved the Atlanta Olympics pipe bombing. I forget the name. The Clint Eastwood movie. Yes. Richard, something like that. Him, Craig Robinson is in this movie as well, along with Bradley.
Daddario's in it.
Yes, and Bradley Whitford, who is a great actor. He was in one of my favorite movies of all times, Get Out. He was excellent in it. So yeah, it looks good. The trailer looks really good. And Michael Bay always does a good job in these kinds of movies. A lot less car chase scenes, but it looks visually. It looks really good and very relatable to today and the world that we're living in right now, quarantine and mask and all that stuff. So yeah, I saw the trailer and I give it a solid 4 out of 5.
Ooh, nice. Well, yeah, trailer was good. Very glossy, very Michael Bay-ish. A lot of huge, really cool shots out there. Yeah, it's something. I'm surprised it's coming out next year, but at some point, I'd like to know when. Definitely want to see this movie. It's the extreme version of what can happen in these type of situations. Not exactly what will happen, but it's an extreme version of what might happen. But yeah, no, Songbird looks like a really good movie. If you're into the apocalyptic virus type of movies, decent actors and actresses in here. I like the trailer. I like that there's obviously a love storyline, but I like the little stories in between that it looks like there's going to be of what's really happening and how the story intertwines. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm going to give it the same thing for the trailer. It hooks you in. 4 out of 5. Pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely, without a doubt. So Jake, on the topic of TV shows, The Mandalorian season 2 just premiered its first episode of the new season this past Friday. Yep. I saw it. I really liked it. Honestly, they're already off to a fantastic start. It was really good. Really good start to the season. If you have seen Mandalorian, you know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen it, this is the time. Get on board. Find someone with a Disney Plus account. Ask them to use it. Because, honestly, it's the only thing worth watching on Disney Plus.
Nice. Well, now that we're still talking about TV and movies, it's sad that we learned this weekend that actor and movie hero Sean Connery had passed away at the age of 90.
Yes.
And I'd like to dedicate this top 5 to Mr. Sean Connery and my top 5 Sean Connery movies.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my list.
You have piqued my interest, sir.
There you go.
All right.
Come on. We're 40 minutes into the show. I haven't piqued your interest in anything. Come
on.
Okay.
It was kind of the same old, but now you have my attention. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
No, Sean Connery movies. There's a bunch. Come on. He was an insanely good James Bond. He's been in really good movies.
He was the original James Bond.
Yes, he was amazing in it. A lot of good James Bond movies. But let's see this list. This is my top 5 list of Sean Connery movies. There are many. Don't argue with me. You have your suggestions. Post them in on our socials. We can go through that. By Sir Sean Connery. We'll start with number 5, Goldfinger. It's one of the James Bond movies. He was terrific in. I always remember that one. I have the whole collection on DVD. Love rewatching them. They are great, and it's just interesting to watch when you're at a certain age. I'm sure younger audience will ever maybe watch these James Bond movies, and I don't know if they'll appreciate what went into those things. It's not like they're very imaginative. So.
Sure, absolutely. No, that's great. Yeah, I must admit the program that I have on my TV has like a 24/7 channel, and there's one of just James Bond movies, and so I always like to turn it on from time to time to see which one that they're showing.
Nice.
Yeah, the
that's
Goldfinger
always
is a great movie. Yeah,
as long as there's no Pierce Brosnan. But anyway, let's move on.
Come on, GoldenEye. Come on, GoldenEye. Sweet video game. Sweet video game.
Video game. Yes, video game.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4. I want to be unpopular in some of these with some people, but anyway, number 4, The Rock.
Ooh.
Yes, and then that had a good cast in it. Nicolas Cage was in it.
Yep.
Yeah, a really good Sean Connery movie. A lot of action, but it was one of those action movies. But
Sure.
I liked it. I always like rewatching that one. Number 3 is very popular. The Hunt for Red October.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good movie. Always rewatch it when it's on TV. You're like, yep, there you go. Submarines.
Submarines. That's the way to Jake's heart is submarines.
That's right.
You got his
sandwiches.
attention now. And sandwiches.
Darren, you're gonna appreciate number 2. You will appreciate number 2.
I think I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
Yep. The Untouchables.
Yes.
Terrific movie.
One of the greatest Brian De Palma films ever made.
Cast is insane.
Cast is
fantastic.
Insane.
Yeah.
So many great quotes from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It's one of those movies I need to actually rewatch. It has been a few years since I watched it. Yeah.
It's just so good. But De Niro as the gangster. Oh my God, how am I going blank on his name? Al Capone. There you go. Him as Al Capone is great, and Elliot Ness, played by Kevin Costner, fantastic. But Sean Connery stole that movie with the old Irish cop that walks the beat. That's the Chicago way. He does all that. It's fantastic. Great movie.
It's an insanely good movie. And number 1, and this is close to my heart because I love these movies, is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yes.
Come on, Junior. It's just like it's great acting. It's funny.
What?
It's great acting, and it's just a fun movie. And I've enjoyed that thing since it came out, and it's my number 1 on my top 5 Sean Connery movies right here on the A to G podcast. You guys can post yours on socials. Let us know what your top 5 Sean Connery movies are as we pay tribute to the acting legend.
Yeah, exactly. Just one little TV show tidbit I wanted to get your thoughts on. They just posted, I should say, the new trailer for the new remake of the Saved by the Bell TV series on the new NBC Peacock.
That nobody watches. Yes.
I don't even think it's available in Canada, to be honest with you.
It's barely available in the U.S. It's for like 1,000 people that actually might watch it.
I know. Well, they think that people are going to tune in for this show.
No.
Get all nostalgia and all that stuff.
How can you get nostalgic if half the cast isn't even there? Like, what the fuck is Screech? He's in a gutter somewhere. Give him some money. Put him on the show.
I know. Yeah, no Screech, but like
fucking Zach. No Zach.
Zach's there. Yeah, he ends up being the mayor of the town. Where Bayside is. So he's back. AC Slater's back. Jessica Spano. The Elizabeth Hurley, not Elizabeth Hurley, Elizabeth Berkley. Lisa Turtle said is going to be there as well to reprise her role as
I thought she was off.
No, originally, but I guess they convinced her to do it. So they probably I'll give you money.
That probably works.
That's usually it's not too bad. So yeah, but I think am I gonna watch at least one episode? Yeah. Is it gonna?
Am I gonna regret it right after? Yeah.
Probably. I'm not gonna let's be honest. I'm a sucker for nostalgia, shows and movies that I grew up with. And I'm sure you are too. When it comes I like to see how they, how do they update it from the original.
I don't know. I'm a diehard fan of Saved by the Bell and the college years.
which I think are really good too.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. It's something that I don't know. It just
You don't
doesn't.
know.
Yeah, if it didn't make it to one of the major networks, there must be terrible. If nobody wanted to pick it up, it must be awful. Will I see it? I'll probably watch one episode and then just gouge my eyes out. But the writing probably is super terrific. The storyline's probably amazing. Not so. Yeah, we'll see.
Says no one.
Listen.
So,
but no,
Jake,
that's a good point. It's nice to see it come out. Yes,
absolutely. So, Jake, we have made it to the month of November, and an important question that I really need your thoughts on is it too soon to be playing Christmas music?
Yes.
I don't think so. I'm like, because right now in at least two of the stations that I have in my car already started playing Christmas music.
I don't have those stations programmed in my car.
I don't have them programmed in my car, but I'm like, I was just scanning one day and it's like, ooh, like already, like November 1st, 12:01 a.m. Boom. La, 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 la,
Nope.
la, 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 la.
You know why? You know why?
Why?
Because by the time you get through the month of November, you don't want to hear any more Christmas music. And then Christmas actually shows up the rest of December. And then you're like, fuck this thing. So you burn out in 30 days of fucking Christmas carols in your ear. And then by the time it actually comes to care, you're like, fuck this shit. Gifts? I don't want to watch Christmas movies. I just heard this shit for 30 days straight. Come on. How many more versions of Jingle Bells can I hear? Come on.
Right. Yeah.
Have yourself a Merry Little Christmas, right? How many versions of that do I want to hear?
Lots.
Exactly. I don't want to hear any until December 1st. That's where my Christmas tree's actually going to go up. That's the question for you, Darren. When is your Christmas tree going to go up?
Ooh, good one. Well, that depends, really. If you're getting a real tree, obviously you have to wait till later, right? Because, a little less mess to worry about. So if you're getting a real one, I'd say wait till December, beginning of December, or like first week of December. I don't know what is the life expectancy of Christmas trees. I never had I think I had a real one once my whole life.
A month and a little bit.
Okay, so it lasts for 30 days ish. So so get it like the first week of December. But if you have a fake one, it really depends on the tree itself. Is it easy to set up? Do you have a whole bunch of decorations? If it's a little bit more complex, then you have a whole like theme you want to do, then I'd say the earlier the better.
Oh wow, you're enabling now. First, Darren's enabling Christmas music, and now he's like, yes, put it up now.
I'm not.
Celebrate for 2 months.
I'm just telling you my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm not telling you got to do it. I'm saying that if it's more complex or convoluted,
keep us updated on when you put yours up.
Oh, my tree is legit. It's my own little personal tree. I call it the All-Star Super Sports tree. God. And I have little miniature figurines, those Hallmark ornaments, right? It's been a collection of mine for like the past 30 years. So yeah, I have a lot of ornaments. And when it comes to that, and yes, I do have a Detroit Lions one. Must admit.
Wow. That's a topic for another full hour show about what ornaments are in your tree and why.
When we get closer to Christmas, I'll do a top 5 holiday ornaments that I have on my tree.
Oh, sure. I'm going to have to do a top 10. We'll do a top 10 of that.
We'll do a top 10 for that.
It seems like you have a lot of ornaments.
Oh, I do. Last I count, it was like well over 40.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, let's be honest. Probably half of them are Sparty ornaments.
No, there's only one Michigan State Spartans. But, to be fair, yes, I know. But to be fair, I do have a Michigan football ornament as well. So
do you keep it under the Spartan one?
I keep it right next to one.
Wow. You are a Michigan man.
They're equal.
You're in a state of Michigan man, just like me.
Yes.
That's good.
But I do. This is show you that Christmas time is a time of coming together and all good thoughts. I even have a couple Detroit Red Wings ornaments on my tree as well.
Oh, wow!
Yeah,
Look at your softy.
Look at that.
Wow.
To be credit, it is of Gordie Howe. So R.I.P.
Okay.
Gordie
That
Howe.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Darren, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
Did you know the International Space Station's been up for 20 years with people living in it? There have been people in the International Space Station now for 20 years.
Like living there?
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, they obviously rotate every few months, but 20 years straight is where people in space.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm just curious, like, after living in space for so long, and when you rotate out, like do you like miss it?
I have no idea.
You think, like, yeah, obviously you get to see your friends and family here on Earth, but like you say, like, oh yeah, I live at the International Space Station. What? Yeah.
9 months of your life up there, that would be interesting.
Would you do that? Would you go away from your family and friends for 9 months to live in space?
I think the hardest part would be family. I don't care about friends, but I don't like people. But it would be interesting.
Except for me. I'm
course,
Jake's one and only friend.
I'd be broadcasting from space. Energy podcast, on the space station.
Galactically wide here up in the ISS.
Yeah. Hit up an extra 5 listeners.
5 listeners.
But yeah, that would be good. That would be good. That would be fun. I just want to circle the planet, just see what it all looks like. I just want to feel the lack of space in space.
The lack of space.
Plus I'd be lighter, so I'd feel better about myself.
Oh. See, there you go. We find something new about Jake every week. That's fantastic.
But no, I thought it was pretty interesting because 20 years, that's a long time that people have been there rotating it in and out of the space station. The question is that this article here on whatever this shitty website is what's next? I don't know what's next really because there's too many things to worry about down here. But I'd love to send more probes out to other possible planets because I think that would be fun to discover another planet like ours. And then I'd move and then not invite anybody else to come with me.
Something
on planet to me.
Yeah, I claimed it. Mine. I called dibs.
That's most popular podcaster on that planet, and it's only me.
There you go. When it comes to another thing that I guess it was like a rarity that happened on Halloween, it was a blue moon, a full blue moon on Halloween, and seeing it, it was pretty incredible to see. You know, the kids are out trick or treating, running around from house to house, and this huge full moon and it looked really big from like where I was. Yes. I don't know if you noticed it as well. It was quite the scene. It was quite the picturesque moment.
Mm-hmm. No, it was very cool. It was very cool. It was a good timing on that. So good job, Moon.
Good job.
When we needed you to make it creepy.
You know, but yeah, well, that's the whole thing. You know, like full moon on Halloween. I bet you there's going to be people in cemeteries doing spells or something.
Oh, here we go.
That would be the time to do it. That would be the time to do it. I've seen Hocus Pocus, man.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. You referenced a guide for information. You're correct.
There you go. You see, you need a virgin to light the black candle. And
there you go. Perfect. Right there. Darren's available.
Zing.
I didn't get that. You set yourself up. I knocked it out of the park. It's okay.
Wow.
But
it's okay. He's still a little sad from that Michigan loss. It's okay.
Oh god, I'm more sour about these stupid Lions. Okay.
Yes, but before a little personal news, Jake, you purchased a new whip.
Oh, no comment because I'll never get to drive it. But
I should say your wife got herself a new whip.
I don't even want to talk about it because I'm never going to see that thing ever again.
If she's smart, she keeps it away from you. So,
basically, I'm just going to be good enough to like fill it up with diesel.
There you go. If you're good to her, she might take you for a ride.
Yeah, that's what she tells me. Now, what I do have is a rant. I think we're good on stories. I have a rant.
Okay.
It's a relevant rant, Darren, because yes, you mentioned earlier today in the show that there is some stuff going on in the U.S. This week, tomorrow especially. Since today is Monday, tomorrow's Tuesday,
NFL
election
trade,
Tuesday tomorrow.
NFL trade deadline, right, Dave?
That's right, NFL trade deadline. And as important as that is to us, there's also a life-changing election over there in the U.S. Now, I'm not going to talk about the actual election part because nobody gives a shit. It's an overload. Go find a news site that whatever site you believe in, deal with it there. I don't give a shit. What I do want to talk about is whatever the consequences are of this election. I am here about the reaction to it, because what does not need to happen is the rioting and looting part of the consequences of this election. It doesn't matter who wins or loses, it's still going to happen. It doesn't need to happen. There is a way you can protest, there's a way you can gather, there's a way you can express your issues. One, by voting for whoever you want. I don't care. You have that power to do so still. So
even if it's for Kanye West.
Oh, hell yeah. There's a lot of tracks I want to change from Kanye's to the American National Anthem. So that would be an option. Well, come on. Perfect. You got a new anthem. The Kanye anthem. Every time he walks in, he gets a soundtrack. What you don't need is rioting and looting. And you know what's going to happen? Because there's cities like Chicago right now currently getting ready for it. They are barricading their businesses. They're boarding up their businesses. In all the major cities, they know if something's coming. And regardless of the outcome of tomorrow, my advice is this. You have an opinion. Tomorrow is the day to express that opinion in a meaningful way. Besides what you do online and voice it, you go and make that decision in person or by mail or whatever else. I prefer going in person because that's how I am. But you don't have the right to go and burn shit down, riot, cause problems, because rioting never solves anything. Two, you're putting other people's life in danger, putting your own life in danger, even though you might not care about your own life. And three, you might get hurt. There's a very good chance you will get hurt. There you go. So that with all that happening, and we're getting calls on this already, as you just heard Darren on the phone. There is no need for aggression and violence in this society. That's not how that's how things get worse, not better. This is an opportunity to make things better if you feel so, or continue for them to be better if you feel so also. Rioting, looting does not solve any problems, creates more, and actually hurts the people you're fighting for if you really think that way. So I'm against all that, and I don't think it needs to happen. Now, that will cause more damage than anything that is possible in any outcome or election. So don't do it. Stay at home. Go vote. Stay home. Get some chips and see what happens. That's
exactly. When it comes down to that, obviously this election is drummed up as the biggest one of our lifetime. Blah blah blah. They always say that every election. Let's be honest. When it comes down to it, it was supposed to be the biggest one of our lifetime last election, but now this one is the biggest one of our lifetime.
The next one will be too.
Yeah, and of course, the next one is going to be too. It depends on the outcome of this one, right? So yeah, obviously, yeah, you don't want to see looting and rioting, but I'm looking at this, how divided the U.S. is when it comes down to Democrats and Republican. And either way, 50% of the country is going to be upset. There's no way to slice it. That's just how it's going to happen, Jake. And I'm sure you agree with me when it comes to that. There's going to be winners and there's going to be a loser. And that's how democracy works. Will we know exactly by tomorrow night who's going to win? Probably not, because they do have to count all those mail-in ballots starting tomorrow.
You got to count all those dead people voting.
Well, hopefully there isn't no scamming that happens in this election. Hopefully it's fair and everyone's vote is counted, no matter who you vote for.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Even if you vote for Kanye West,
Hell yeah.
Who is a certified nut job? If you listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, straight up crazy.
Kanye for president.
Oh my God, Jake! Come on, give me
as long as I'm able to join his label and he can play my music, I'm okay.
Oh my God,
Kanye #1.
Oh, okay. If Kanye is #1, then if you're a fan of Lil Wayne, I guess you're going to be voting for Donald Trump. Then I guess I don't know.
Ooh, Lil Wayne. I saw that story. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I always laugh at. Like, people that are influenced by rappers. Do you think rappers actually care about like the average people? No, especially like the big.
I care about average people.
Okay, I'm talking about. Okay, rappers.
Oh, good rappers. Yeah, got it. Go for it. Yeah.
Good rappers that all they do is rap. That's how they make a living, is rapping.
Way to put me down. Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, Jake. Well, you called me a virgin earlier, so yeah. Yeah.
Fair.
So obviously, obviously, it's gonna be so glad come Wednesday where I don't have to see any more political ads on TV. No more stupid ads about John James being a military guy, or Gary Peters says I work hard every day, blah blah blah.
Or that crazy lady yelling in her pink hat in Congress.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Oh yeah, so there's gonna be locusts and Dark Knights. I'm like, okay.
Oh, okay, crazy
Just
lady.
go back to the football game now. That's why I love the Red Zone channel, Jake. I don't have to see no political ads. They bounce from one game to another. That's it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Jake.
But this might not be solved tomorrow. This might take months.
No.
So I don't think we're done with this
Hopefully
yet.
Not months.
But
Hopefully not months.
My biggest thing is we don't need any rioting or fighting. You can go protest, put up a sign, have a little walk, but you shouldn't even have to do that if you do what you need to do tomorrow for either side. That's how it's made.
But
that's how it's decided.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying to pack your patience, when it comes to voting tomorrow. They expect long lines, expect, people, a lot of people to show up at the polls, which is great to see. I see already that the mail-in ballots are already surpassed 2016 by a huge margin. So that's great to see everyone get out there and vote, which is important. And big shout outs to like all the professional sports organizations throughout North America. Throughout the U.S. Using their stadiums and arenas to have people vote.
Yeah,
absolutely. Jake, one last sports news that I forgot to throw in when we did sports. The Tigers have a new manager, and he cheated his way to the top, and I love it. I love it.
But he brings back Verlander in a couple of years, so we're good.
If he brings back Verlander, I'll take it. Let's get a World Series championship ring here in Detroit, and let's start banging some trash cans over here.
I'm ready to go.
So yes.
Yep. No, I'm good with that. I don't care if he cheated. They won.
Well,
let's do it. It's a winning mentality this city hasn't had in a very long time. So let's get that going. I'm good with it.
Absolutely.
You know what? Let's find somebody like that. Can Bill Belichick just quit and come over to the Lions again? Come on. Do that. Where's that petition? Oh, man. That's it for the show. We had a good show. Episode 3 of season 4. Guys, find us everywhere on socials at ADG Podcast. Email us if with any issues, concerns, or talk shit, adgpodcast@gmail.com. Find us anywhere on any streaming platform, Apple, Spotify, whatever. ADG Podcast, search for that. And listen and let us know what's going on. Talk about our stories. And don't forget that tribute to Sean Connery. Give us your top 5 movies by him in the socials, and we'll see how that goes.
Awesome.
I think that's it for the show.
Sounds good.
There you go. So for the ADG Podcast, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Darren.
And we are ADG.